Hey man, I'm gonna explain this to you, man. I don't do flat earth videos on my channel, but I'm gonna do this just for you. I'm gonna draw two circles. This gonna be the water thing first. On this one, this whole outer circle is the equator. On this one, this line right here is gonna represent the equator. And I'm gonna put on here north, east, south, west. Alright, so gravity pulls. I don't understand how you came up with those little lines for the where curvature is. But we're gonna focus on gravity first. Let's just do this. This represents the pull of gravity. This is also the representation of a decrease in elevation. And honestly, when it comes to this and this, it don't matter which way the earth is. Gravity and down is also always in the same direction. No matter if you're looking at it from down, it don't matter if this is north or south. This point right here doesn't matter. It's still down. This right here, northeast, southwest, everything is still down. So when you say water goes this way, you're meaning water is going horizontally. It's not going down. It's going horizontally. Water flows down at all costs. I'm even going to do this for you. Let's draw like a little mountain, little hill right here, and a little hill right here. It don't matter which way the hill is going. If it's going down in elevation, water will flow this way. Water should not come down here because it don't matter what your point of view is. Down is always the same direction. So water should not collect down here because if you live right here, this is your point of view. Water should not go this way. If you live up here or where this mountain is, water should not flow this way. It flows down towards earth. Same thing as this one. Even though this is the equator and that's the equator, it all points in the same direction. Water should not collect and down here at the bottom. No, that's wrong. Clouds should not come up here. No, that's wrong. Same thing up here. Clouds should not come here and water should not come here. That is completely wrong. I don't know where you came up with that. That is bullshit. Excuse my language. Water flows down towards earth. It collects down towards earth. If this is a river, it flows down, it collects in this river and it stays there. Why? Because it's point of view. Now this is up and this is down. This is up, this is down compared to you, what you're saying. That doesn't matter. That's not how down works. The definition of down is towards the center of earth. Towards the center of earth. This is down. Another one. It's earth. These are levels of elevation. Golly. Okay. This is earth. These are levels of elevation. I'm about to mark them in a second. Let's say this is 500 feet, 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet. For a plane, whatever with the wings, blah, blah, blah. A plane moving this way should not have to dip its nose to keep going around the earth, because in order to go up in elevation where air is thinner, you need more thrust and more lift applied to the wings in order to get there. The heavier the plane, the more you need to lift up in this thin atmosphere. Up here, the air is thin. A lot thinner than down here. So you have less to push off of because there's less molecules moving up air. So in order to move up, you have to apply more power and more lift going upward like that. So if you don't apply that extra thrust of power, you're going to stay level and go around this way without having to dip your nose down. You don't have to dip your nose down because you lack the power to go up in elevation. That's that one. I just pause it. Okay, this one's gonna be a little harder to explain in 3-dimensional space, so because this paper is 2-dimensional, so we're gonna break this down in 2 dimensions so far. You have an x-axis and a y-axis. You can have something moving along this path and something moving along this path in one of these are 2 different directions. But when you add these directions together and you move both at the same time, it equals one direction. And this could be applied to as many dimensions as you want. If you add a 3rd dimension to it, it also means you have an X, a Y, and a Z. If you have something moving through all 3 of these axes at the same time, which is hard to represent on a 2D surface, actually, you have this and you have a smaller object. One circling, that's one direction. Then you have it moving this way. That's another direction. If you have on your diagram, you had 2 directions. One is moving up with the sun, and then there's the Earth. They're moving in one direction, going through space. You have Earth going around the sun in one direction. This is the sun. You have Earth moving around the sun. If you add those together, it equals one direction. If you're talking about going through space and all that, it's going through one direction, but the direction is going to be making this kind of pattern. But it's still one motion. The Earth is moving in one direction. Even though he has all these other vectors, it's still moving one direction. Now you could break this direction down into a Y movement and an X movement, and even a Z movement if it's moving upward, going up this way, but it's still moving in one direction. You have 2 vectors that can equal one direction. X plus Y equals one movement in both planes. So I hope that X, okay, we're gonna recap this real quick. I know it's a crappy drawing, it's nothing like yours, but I'm rushing this because I got pizza in the oven and I want to be able to eat that shit without burning. We have gravity going down. All this is down. All of this is also curvature. So whatever, I don't understand what you're saying, like these areas are curvature, because this is all curvature. We're on a globe. There is no edge, so it's all curved. There also is no cardinal up and down. As you can see, everything down is one direction toward the Earth. Up is away from Earth. It's always like that. So when you say it gathers up here and everything goes this way, you're saying that all that moves sideways through space. It doesn't. It moves down. It don't move sideways through space like that. There's no force making it do that. Gravity pulls down towards the Earth. Elevation. A plane does not have to dip its nose down because it requires more thrust to go up in elevation. If it don't have that thrust, it's going to stay level. If you take away thrust, it's going to start dropping. That's how it works on a Earth, on a globe Earth. And then we have vector motions. You have one moving one direction, then we add another direction. You add both of those directions together, and you're moving both of those at the same time, it equals one direction. That applies to all 3 dimensions in space that we live in. It's just hard to do on paper. And now I have one for you, Mr. Smart Man. This is your this is the globe. This is your flat Earth. This is the North Pole. This is the North. This is the South. This is the equator. This is your equator. This is the Tropic of Cancer. This is the Tropic of Capricorn. This Tropic of Cancer. This Tropic of Capricorn. See, now this is a major problem for the flat Earth. When it's summertime for the North, the sun travels along this path. when it's summertime for the southern hemisphere, it travels along this path. So that's this path here and this path here. The problem is the Tropic of Capricorn is a lot larger than the equator and the Tropic of Cancer when it comes to a flat Earth. On the globe, the equator is bigger than both of the tropics. Both of the tropics are the same size. Now, during the summertime for each one, this makes this revolution in 24 hours. It equals one revolution. Golly. In 24 hours. Always. In order for it to go across this path, it would have to slow down. But that would make sense because our summers have longer days. On here, our summer have longer days because of the tilt. Okay, now when it comes to summertime for the southern hemisphere, this has to travel a lot faster to complete this circuit in 24 hours. With it traveling faster in that 24 hours would mean that the sun is going over the land masses a lot faster, which would mean they experience shorter days during the summertime. On us, we don't have this problem. In reality, the southern hemisphere experiences longer days in the summertime. If that was true, that means it would move the same speed, but it would take more than 24 hours to complete the circuit on a flat Earth. Please explain to me, because that makes flat Earth impossible to exist with reality. Please explain that to me.